What's up, guys? So we're starting a new quest today, and I love new quests because we're going to be exploring entirely new worlds in biology. Now, in previous lessons, we talked about how important food is to us. We talked about how food is of great benefit to us as living organisms, and how it helps to enable the various processes of life. Now, one of these processes of life is excretion. Now, when I say excretion, I probably know what is coming to your mind. You may be thinking about somebody going to the toilet or somebody passing out urine. Now, that's true technically, but excretion is much more than that, and we're going to be finding that out. It's not something that only animals do. Plants and unicellular organisms even, they all engage in some form of excretion. Now, when you take in food, it's broken down into useful products, which the body uses up. But then there are also byproducts, toxic products, and the body has to get rid of these toxic products. And this leads us to the concept of excretion. So what is excretion? Let's do a definition. Now, excretion can be defined as a process by which living organisms get rid of the waste products of metabolism. So, different organisms have different means of removing various products, different techniques for getting rid of these toxins from their bodies. Now, let's start out with the most basic organisms, unicellular organisms, for example, amoeba. Now, in amoeba, waste is removed through their body surface into the surrounding water by diffusion. In amoeba, waste products like carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste molecules directly diffuse out of the body through the contractile vacuole and into the surrounding water body. In flatworms, for example, tapeworms, they use a specialized structure known as the flame cell. Now, it's not a cell that's on fire or burning up or anything, but it's called the flame cell. Now, the flame cell of a tapeworm is a structure that looks like an extension of a sieve net, and it's found close to its body surface. It is for filtering out waste products like water and urea and carbon dioxide and other nitrogenous waste. In roundworms, on the other hand, for example, earthworms are a form of roundworm. They use a tube-like structure called the nephridium. And the nephridium serves excretory functions. It's used to get rid of metabolic waste like carbon dioxide and urea and nitrogenous waste. And it opens up to the outside of the worm. Let's step up the organism complexity a bit. Let's talk about insects. And let's see, what insects should we talk about? Let's talk about cockroaches. I don't like cockroaches, but we need to study them. Let's talk about cockroaches. Now, in the case of cockroaches and insects, there's a structure called the Malpighian tubule. The Malpighian tubule is like a slender tube, and it's found at the back or the rear of insects. And it's used to generate waste like carbon dioxide and water and uric acid. Now, on the other hand, in vertebrates like humans who have a spinal cord, there are a couple of organs and structures that work together in concert to perform the function of excretion. Now, the chief organ, the main organ responsible for excretion in human beings is the kidney. In fact, they're so important, we've got two of them. Now, kidneys are a pair of bean-shaped structures located at both sides of the abdominal region of humans, towards the back. They filter out waste materials out of the blood and pass them out of the body as urine. And urine is basically a mixture of excess water and various salts. Another organ used for excretion in humans is the liver. The liver has the shape of a half moon, okay? And this organ sits on the right side of your belly, okay? And it has a dark reddish brown color. The liver helps to neutralize and to remove toxic substances from the blood so that they don't harm us. Now, humans also use their lungs for excretion. And the lungs, they are a pair. We have two of these also. They are a pair of spongy airbags located in the chest, and they are linked together by the windpipe. The windpipe is also called the trachea, and they help in gaseous exchange processes. So they help with the inhalation or the intake of oxygen and the removal of carbon dioxide and water vapor. Carbon dioxide and water vapor are gaseous waste products that are produced in the blood. Now, it may come as a surprise to you that your skin is also an excretory organ. Now, why is that? It's because it removes excess water and salts in the form of sweat. So when you're sweating, that is a process of excretion. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about plants. Now, plants also have their own processes of excretion, like I mentioned earlier. Except, unlike animals, they don't have these specialized complex structures like livers and kidneys for excretion. Plants use stomata, which are simple openings on their leaves to discharge oxygen after taking in carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. Now, of course, this is of immense benefit to us humans because we need oxygen. And then we give out carbon dioxide, which the plants take in. So it's a bit of a cycle between us and plants. Now you can see that biology is beautiful, right? One organism's excretory products is another organism's input. Now, plants also give off water vapor from their leaf openings through the process of transpiration. They do this so that they can excrete excess water that has been taken in by the roots, water that they don't necessarily need. Now, other gaseous material and metabolic material produced in plants, other organic byproducts, these wastes are also excreted, but they are stored in different forms in different parts of the plant, like barks and stems. And then they're excreted as things like gum and resin, for example, from the acacia plant. Do you even know that the scented oils that are produced by the jasmine plant, and even the latex from the rubber tree, which we then use to make rubber and tires, these are excretory products. Isn't that amazing? The waste from one organism can actually be commercially useful to humans. So let's recap. What have we learned? In this lesson, we've been able to learn about excretion. We've been able to learn about the various organisms used for excretion in all kinds of different organisms, from unicellular organisms like amoeba to multicellular organisms like man. And we've looked at various waste products. Now, I'm going to see you in the next lesson where we'll be discussing the forms in which waste is produced in living organisms. I'll see you then.